They say cities don't have room for new parks anymore. Yeah, I'm serious. But what if I told you Dallas proved everyone wrong by building a massive green space over a freeway? Sounds impossible, right? Wait till you hear this. When you think of a freeway, the last thing that probably comes to mind is a relaxing park where families picnic, kids play, and people just chill out. Freeways are noisy, crowded, and kind of the opposite of peaceful. But in Dallas, they flipped that idea completely on its head. They didn't just build a park next to a freeway, they built it on top of one. Crazy, right? It's called Clyde Warren Park, and what makes it even cooler is how it's reshaping what we think is possible in cities. But how did they pull this off? And more importantly, what can it teach us about the future of our cities? Cities are growing faster than ever, and with that comes a big problem: space. Skyscrapers are getting taller, streets are getting busier, and parks? They're often the first thing to disappear. But here's the catch. Green spaces aren't just nice to have, they're crucial. They cool cities down, clean the air, and give us a place to breathe. Now imagine Dallas back in the 2000s. Downtown was booming, but it had a huge problem. Literally, the Woodall-Rogers Freeway sliced right through the city, creating a noisy, polluted barrier that kept neighborhoods apart. It was an eyesore, and it didn't leave any room for parks or people. So the big question was, how do you fix a problem like this when you've already run out of land? The answer: you don't find new land, you create it. And that's exactly what they did with Clyde Warren Park. Turning a freeway into a park sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but for Dallas, it became a bold new vision. The idea was simple, yet wildly ambitious. Build a massive deck over the freeway and turn it into a green space. Of course, saying it is one thing, actually doing it. That's where the magic and the challenges came in. The first hurdle was engineering. Think about it. This wasn't just a flat slab of concrete. The deck had to hold trees, playgrounds, fountains, food trucks, and even crowds of people, all while 6 lanes of cars sped underneath. To pull this off, engineers created a sturdy foundation of concrete beams and steel girders, distributing the weight evenly so the freeway could keep running smoothly. They also added acoustic barriers to block out traffic noise and expansion joints to handle vibrations and temperature changes. And then there was water. Dallas gets its fair share of rain, and without proper drainage, the park could have turned into a swamp, or worse, flooded the freeway below. So they installed a state-of-the-art drainage system to handle runoff and even capture rainwater for irrigation. But the real beauty of Clyde Warren Park isn't just its engineering, it's the way it was designed to bring people together. OJB Landscape Architecture, the masterminds behind the project, wanted the park to feel like it had always been a part of the city. They filled it with native plants, shaded seating areas, and open lawns perfect for picnics or yoga classes. There are playgrounds for kids, a dog park for furry friends, and even a stage for live performances. And here's the thing, they didn't just build a park, they built a bridge. Clyde Warren Park literally connects 2 neighborhoods that were once separated by the freeway, making it easier for people to walk, bike, and explore their city. But why stop at just being a park? Clyde Warren Park also sets the gold standard for sustainability. Its green roof reduces the urban heat island effect, the native plants support local wildlife, and its water-saving systems are a model for eco-friendly design. It's proof that you can create something beautiful and still be kind to the planet. The park opened in 2012, and when the first visitors walked through its gates, they were blown away. What was once a noisy freeway had become the heartbeat of the city, a place where people of all ages, backgrounds, and walks of life could come together. Families picnicked on the grass, friends met up for food truck lunches, and kids ran around like they just discovered the best playground in the world. But it wasn't just locals who noticed. Clyde Warren Park became a symbol of what's possible when cities think outside the box. Urban planners from all over the world came to see how Dallas had turned a problem into an opportunity, and the park quickly inspired similar projects in other cities. From New York's High Line to Seoul's Solo 7017, Clyde Warren Park proved that even the busiest, most crowded cities can find space for nature. The High Line is one of the world's most iconic green spaces that was born from an abandoned space in Manhattan's bustling streets. Thanks to Joshua David, a writer, and Robert Hammond, an artist who pitched an idea that turned this decaying piece of infrastructure into a public green space. The High Line isn't just a park, it's an experience. It blends wild greenery with sleek pathways, offering stunning views of the Hudson River and the Manhattan skyline. Native plants reclaim the space, echoing the wildflowers that had once grown there. Art installations and performance spaces add cultural vibrancy. And then there were the clever design features, like the rail tracks incorporated into the pathways, which paid homage to its past. Yet the High Line also highlights a complex challenge: gentrification. The area surrounding it has seen skyrocketing property values, making it harder for longtime residents to afford. It's a reminder that urban innovation must balance design with social equity. Stay tuned for our upcoming video about gentrification and possible solutions. Back in the 1970s, South Korea's capital was undergoing a rapid transformation. Seoul's streets were filling with cars, and urban planners scrambled to keep up. The solution? A massive highway system, including the Cheonggi-cheon overpass, a major elevated road that cut through the heart of the city. For decades it worked. Traffic moved and Seoul's skyline grew. But by the early 2000s, the cracks, literal and figurative, began to show. The overpass was aging, its concrete deteriorating, and its utility questioned in a city now prioritizing public transit. What once symbolized progress had become an eyesore. Demolition seemed like the obvious choice, but it posed a tough question. What comes next? The city didn't just tear the highway down. Instead, it chose an audacious path, repurposed the overpass into a pedestrian park. The vision came from Seoul's push to reclaim spaces for people, not cars. Architect MVRDV, known for creative urban solutions, was brought on board. The goal was to turn the 1-kilometer stretch into a lush, accessible walkway connecting neighborhoods once divided by traffic. But the project was anything but straightforward. Engineering challenges loomed. Could the structure, built to hold vehicles, safely support thousands of people and tons of soil, trees, and plants? After extensive testing and reinforcements, the answer was yes. Sulo 7017 was designed with more than 24,000 plants, ranging from native trees to flowering shrubs. The name 7017 pays homage to its past and future. Built in the 1970s and reopened in 2017. It's not just a park, it's a living bridge that brings the city together. The Sky Garden isn't just about greenery. It's a hub of activity, with cafes, performance spaces, and even small libraries scattered along its length. Walking here isn't just a commute, it's an experience. But it's more than that. Clyde Warren Park, Solo 7017, and the High Line reminds us why public spaces matter. They're where communities come to life, where people connect, and where cities breathe. And in a world that's only getting busier, those spaces are more important than ever. So the next time you're stuck in traffic or walking through a crowded city street, look around. What if that empty overpass or that stretch of concrete could become something more? What if it could become the next High Line, or Clyde Warren Park, or Solo 7017? Want more stories like this? Hit subscribe and keep exploring the incredible world of green architecture in cities.